Unfortunately, the big update I've been working toward isn't ready yet, and to be honest, it's not even close. But I've been hearing that people are more interested in the behind-the-scenes technical stuff anyway, so I decided last minute to pivot and make this video about something that I've been putting off for a long time, splitting the demo and full versions of the game. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing that and a tool I built to make my life easier. But let's start at the beginning. Conveniently, I already have a system for loading and managing multiple content packs because I've been planning on Steam Workshop support, or otherwise creating and sharing your own custom contests. However, I hadn't really put it to the test before, so I did have to fix a few things. After that, my first step is actually separating the base game content into 3 different packs. A common pack for everything that's in both the demo and full versions. The demo pack just has a shortened pilot episode version of the main FlavorSpace contest and an ending cutscene. And for now, the full package is just a longer version of the FlavorSpace contest, a different end cutscene, and a couple of extra guest judges, although more will be added in the future. The next step is figuring out how to actually control what gets included in each build. If you're familiar with Godot, you probably already know that on export, all your files except the executable get bundled up into a PCK file, and on the Resources tab of the export dialog, you get some control over what gets included. For this case, I think the easiest solution is to exclude the folder of the content pack that shouldn't be in each version. And I could pretty easily duplicate my export configuration to just have one for the demo and one for the full version. But with 3 platforms, that means 6 presets in total, and keeping that up to date with version changes and export paths is both tedious and error-prone. I've been wanting to automate more of my process for a long time, and this wouldn't be a very interesting video if I just stopped here, so I decided to go ahead and build something. And I probably went a bit overboard. That's part of why this video is coming out on a Monday, but this is my new export helper tool. I future-proofed it to allow for multiple projects with a JSON file for each, storing all of these paths which are specific to each machine that I'm building on. Once you fill in the Godot project path, it goes ahead and pulls out the existing presets as well as the version number, and here I've filled in the exclusion paths for the demo and full versions. I can multi-select these presets as well as check off the different variants I want, demo versus full, debug versus release, and then just hit begin exports to start the work. So now let's look at what it's actually doing. Fortunately, the export presets.cfg file generated and used by Godot is pretty straightforward. It has alternating sections of these sort of declarations of a preset and options for the preset. The parts that I'm interested in are the exclude filter and the version fields, which vary from platform to platform. But apart from what I'm modifying, all these options need to be preserved. So I read through the file looking for these section headers and storing all of the lines within. When it's time to actually export, I first generate a list of tasks for every combination of preset and variants, and queue them up to do 1 per frame so that the UI can update in between. For each task, I first pull out the original export file name and make sure that the output directory exists. I'm generating this path as a combination of a debug or release folder, a full or demo folder, and then the innermost folder corresponds to the original preset name, which is presumably the platform. Then I generate a modified export presets.cfg file for just the one task I'm doing currently. As you can see here, I fill in the exclude filter and replace the version fields. And then it's just a matter of invoking Godot with the right command line arguments to perform the export. This is currently designed for Godot 3.x, so the flags are either export debug or export, but I believe this has changed for Godot 4, and there may be some other incompatibilities as well. It took quite a lot of trial and error to get this working though. In fact, I still can't get command line execution to work when this is running from inside the editor, but as long as I export my tool first, then everything's fine. After the last task, I restore a backup of the original export presets, and that's basically it. I forgot to mention I'm also exporting a file with just the version number that gets read at runtime to display the version number in the game. Also, as a quick and dirty solution for labeling the build as demo or full in the title bar and on the main menu, I'm just checking to see which packs are included. And during development, before I do the export, both packages are included so I can test both the full and pilot episode versions of the main contest. Honestly, this tool is probably overkill for what I need right now, but now that I've built it, it's nice to have. And it's something I can continue expanding on for things like automating my native library builds or uploads to Steam. And although it's very custom tailored to my way of doing things, if anyone's interested in me open sourcing this, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to share it if it's useful to anyone else. In the meantime, it always helps me out if you hit the like button, spread the word, and subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, thanks for watching.